So obviously it's impossible to tell exactly what Valve is going to do in terms of when and how and where we're going to get new skins, whether it's going to be a new case in the armory, something like the Fever case 2, or whether it's going to be a new active duty case, or if it's going to be another terminal like the Genesis terminal, whatever. We might get something new like that. I don't know. It seems like Valve, might be trying to build on that idea in the future. It also could be some kind of new collection in the armory. Maybe we get the new Cobble collection or a new Cash collection or whatever. We really don't know. But obviously as somebody that loves skins, a big skin nerd, I am really hyped and excited for when we are going to get that new stuff added to the game. But I also know that there's tons of talented people out there in the CS2 community that are always cooking up new ideas, always cooking up new skins, and they're always ready to go for whenever Valve does decide to add some new stuff into this game. So in this video today, we're going to be looking over what all these talented people in the CS2 community have been doing, because for me that's a lot of fun to see what people are cooking up. Today's video is sponsored by SkinSwap, and they're offering you a free skin worth up to $50 when you use code GERM and complete your first trade with them today. It's very simple, it's very easy. All you have to do is click on the skins that you're looking to get rid of, and then scroll through the amazing selection of skins that they have available and click on the ones that you want instead. It's that simple, it's that easy. And also, SkinSwap is also offering a very, very cool opportunity, the ability to buy skins for you from Chinese marketplaces. Prices are very, very cheap in China right now. There are some great deals to be had, and SkinSwap is going to help you get your hands on your favorite skins for an amazing price today. So definitely go check them out with that first link in the description below. First up, we have this AWP Dragonborn from Howl. This is a guy with, he has a decent amount of skins in the game already. I believe this is a guy who made the FAMAS bad trip. I think he's made some other skins as well. I don't know. This GIF really won't load that well, but it's also a 5-second GIF that's trying to load like a million times. But this one looks very, very, very sick. Again, I love it's an AWP with a dragon on it. Like, hey, it's a tried and true method. There's a ton of, it feels like a ton of skins already in the game, but also a ton of skin ideas in the game that just have a dragon on the AWP. It's nice because the AWP's like this really long skin where you can get some twisty, winding, turning, but it's also like an epic weapon, putting an epic mythical beast on it. That's always going to work. But I really love this one because it's got the clouds and the white and stuff going on in the background, but also with this super colorful dragon going through it, but also the scales and the colors on it, like shimmer, that red, that turquoise, whatever color we got going on. It looks so cool. People were kind of talking about whether or not the scope should have some more color on it, or the scope should remain black or whatever. I don't know. But again, I love the contrast between the colors and the insane beast with the clouds in the background. I think it looks really cool. Takes full advantage of the lighting effects in CS2, with the shimmering scales and stuff like that. I don't know. I really, really like this idea. I thought this was a cool skin that I definitely wanted to highlight. I would love to see that in the game. And obviously, like I said, Howl is a guy that has stuff in the game and is a talented skin person and stuff. And obviously, Valve has already been, accustomed to their ideas and stuff like that as well. We'll see if Twitter wants to load up for some of these other ideas. It's just a bunch of tweets that I've been going through. Again, here's another one of that AWP Dragonborn in progress, a little bit of a more updated version of it, I guess. That's what it looks like actually in CS2. And again, I just think it looks really, really, really cool. Again, I do really love the clouds in the background. I think the white background, offsets very, very nicely with the big dragon in the front. You can see how it shimmers when the light actually hits and stuff like that. I think this is a cool idea. I think this would be a great covert. I think this would be a better covert than what we've seen recently with stuff like the Long Dong or the CMYK or whatever. I would love to see something like this. Now, again, you don't want to be oversaturated. You don't want to have too many freaking AWPs with dragons on it or whatever, but that would be a pretty cool idea, at least in my opinion. I don't know why all these tabs are loading so slow. We might have to, trudge through this video a little bit if we can get some of these that'll actually load up for us. Today, I'm recording this on the day that like the Cloudflare stuff has been happening. I don't know if Twitter uses, I don't even think Twitter does use Cloudflare, but again, a lot of the internet is just having issues in general today. So it's very, very, very annoying. Here is the Desert Eagle Stargazer. This one I think looks just absolutely beautiful. I love this idea on a Deagle skin. I love like the flower, the colors. I didn't even click on that. I don't know why it's opening. I love the flowers. I love the colors. I just think it looks really clean. It looks really nice. Again, this isn't necessarily something that would even have to be a covert. This could be a little bit of a lower rarity and still work really, really, really good. I think this maybe could have a little bit more like kind of detail to it. Like it could like stand out or pop or, have some more depth to it or something like that. It does come across kind of flat on the Deagle here, but still, I think the artwork is beautiful and amazing. I think this is very, very cool. Stargazer. I don't know. I don't know that I necessarily love the name or think it fits perfectly. Whatever. I think it's very cool. I love this. I think it's a very cool skin. I could definitely see that being in CS2. X Mercy has a CS2 workshop gallery where he posts a ton of skins in there of people's ideas and stuff like that. Here we have the Glock print stream. Now again, Print Stream is one of my favorite skin sets in the entire game. Obviously, it's one of the most popular skin sets in the entire game. What's interesting here about the Glock Print Stream is that, you know, most of the Print Stream skins are mostly white with like the black accents, and obviously this has like that white, you know, Print Stream pearlescent effect on top. But here we get the mostly black body of the Glock, which is pretty cool. It's pretty sick. It actually makes it stand out and be very, very, very different from the rest of the Print Stream skin line. Now, that could be bad, it could be good, depending on what you're looking for, but I do think that, you know, not the entire pearlescent effect, but just that pearlescent effect on the top with the actual part, like the top part of the gun, is kind of different and kind of cool. And again, I'm always a fan of having more Print Stream skins in the game. I'm never going to complain about that. That's never going to be an issue with me. I know like the AK Print Stream is something that people have been talking about a ton as well. Obviously, we just recently got the AWP Print Stream, which is insanely popular, you know, part of the Fever Case and stuff like that. This is a cool skin. I would definitely love to see this in the game. Here's another one that I don't think we are going to get. You know, this one is maybe not so likely, but it's still a cool idea that I at least wanted to show to you guys. Obviously, M4 Howl, one of my favorite, probably my favorite skin in the entire game. Again, when I've owned an M4 Howl, I think maybe 2 times before, at least 1 time before, I've said, you know, it's like my grail skin. I do love the M4A4 Howl in a huge way. Here's the AK-47 Howl, which again, I don't think will ever happen. I think Valve has kind of fully moved on from the Howl stuff, especially with the controversy and the contraband nature and all the issues they had with it and all that stuff. But I do think that this does fit very, very well in an AK-47 as well. I like how you have the fully black kind of with like the red kind of streaks and stripes and everything going on, but the beast head in the middle of it does look very, very cool. And obviously the AK-47 Howl would be an absolutely iconic skin. I don't even know if this is exactly what it would look like or anything like that, but I like this idea. I think this is very, very, very cool. And yeah, like I said, hey, throw a Howl on anything, I'm never going to be complaining. Again, I don't think that one's likely to happen. I don't think we're getting that in the new case or in the new terminal or whatever. But here's one that's actually kind of funny. Now, again, this is another one that I don't really know if they would ever add, especially with, you know, concerns about gambling and all the different stuff that's going on right now on in regulations and policymakers and lawmakers and now YouTube cracking down on all this stuff. But this is a pretty funny idea. We have the R8 Revolver Jackpot where, you know, you turn the spinning part where the bullets go into of the R8 into a, you know, slot machine type thing, which is pretty funny. I thought it was a creative concept. I like the idea, but again, this is probably not something Valve necessarily wants to lean into, especially, you know, during this particular climate at these particular times, but it's a cool skin. I like the idea. I can appreciate, you know, the creativity of where it was coming from. This is a very, very sick one. This is, I guess, the AK-47 Spectral. It comes in a few different colors. You got the green, the red, the blue, but people were showcasing the green here on Twitter and just kind of showing how crazy of a skin this is. Again, it seems like all the gifs on Twitter right now are not necessarily loading all that great, but that's okay. Still, I think you can kind of see the idea here of what this AK looks like down here. Again, it's this just shiny green AK with like these green and kind of yellow wispy things going through it, you know, kind of ghostly, ghouly, spectral vibes going on. I think it's a pretty cool skin. I think it's a pretty cool idea. Again, I don't know if necessarily this is the direction that CS would want to go, but I appreciate it. I thought it was cool. Here is another one that I really, really, really like. This is the FAMAS Glass Dragon. I like this mosaic, you know, feel and vibe on this thing where you have the dragon. Again, we're so accustomed to these skins, you know, with these massive dragons that take up the whole thing, whatever. This one's a little bit more, you know, low-key. It's got a small dragon on the front. Again, the mosaic art style, I think it's pretty cool. Throwing it on the FAMAS rather than, you know, the AK or the AWP or whatever. I think it's kind of a cool idea. I actually really, really like this one. This is one that I could definitely see, you know, getting into a collection, getting into a case. Not everything can be a covert. Not everything can be the most groundbreaking, insane skin in CS2 history or whatever. You have to have some of that, you know, mid-tier, lower-tier stuff, whatever. I think this would fit very, very nicely in like the mid-tier, and I think it's a cool way to incorporate, you know, the dragon onto another skin. Dragons are just cool. Dragons are just badass. We just love it. Whatever. Here is Hewok once again popping up. He's been hard at work, putting in a ton of ideas. I'm sure we're going to see more of Hewok skins getting added to the game at some point, but this is the AWP Bad Trip. Again, FAMAS Bad Trip in the game. It's become a very, very expensive skin recently, you know, with the new gold trade-up changes and all that. So now he's coming back with a vengeance with the AWP Bad Trip, which I think actually looks really, really, really sick. The AWP, you have a ton of room to, you know, add these creepy, crazy, you know, I don't even know, like mind-melting creatures and things all over. I think the back of it looks very, very, very cool with the faces and the demons and stuff going on, whatever. I think it looks pretty sick. I love this idea on the AWP, and I love what Hewok has been doing recently. Here we have the Poly MP9 loaded. This is an MP9 with just a bunch of bullets all over it, and I thought this was just kind of a cool, interesting idea and a cool way to make a skin. I kind of like how you can just kind of see the bullet casings or whatever all over the skin. I just think it's an interesting idea. Again, not a groundbreaking skin, anything like that. This would probably be a very, very low rarity, low tier, but you still need that stuff in collections. You still need that stuff in cases and stuff, and I think this would be a cool skin added to the game. Again, nothing groundbreaking, nothing insane, but I just appreciated what they were doing here. This is another one that I don't necessarily think we will have added anytime soon. I don't think we're ready for another Inheritance skin just yet, but the Inheritance is a very, very beautiful, very, very clean skin line. I actually think this works very, very well on the M4A4. This is the M4A4 Inheritance. Obviously, I think this is a very clean skin. I really love, the small details on this. It looks clean. It just, I don't know. This is like a skin that I wouldn't even want to put stickers on or wouldn't even want to, craft on or anything like that. I think it just does justice by itself, and I just think it's really clean and really cool. And obviously, the AK Inheritance has been popular. It's been a nice skin, and now you have the M4 Inheritance, and I'm sure other Inheritance skins being worked on and stuff like that as well. This is another possibility for anything that we're going to get. If we do get a new case, a new collection, whatever, however it ends up happening, we could potentially be getting the twin blade knife in CS2. Gamsry Gregory has cooked up exactly what that would look like with a bunch of different knife finishes and stuff like that. Again, this would be very, very crazy to see. We have, some different, like I said, different patterns and stuff like that on here. I know people have been a little bit, I don't think people are all that excited about the twin blade knife. I don't know. To me, I guess this is cooler than the Kukri. I would rather have this than the Kukri knife, but still it's kind of just like another mid-tier knife. I think this is much cooler than Navaja. I think it's cooler than Shadow Daggers or whatever. So again, this is not something that I would complain about. I'm always down for new knives in the game. I wish it would have some kind of cool pull-out animation or inspect animation or whatever to make it kind of different. Also, it only has color up on the blade. It doesn't have color throughout the whole thing, whatever. But again, it is very, very possible that we get the new twin blade knife sooner rather than later in CS2 at some point. So that's another kind of thing that we do have to be looking out for again. And then we also know that, hey, we're gonna have trade ups into it, and we're gonna have probably a new case with it or whatever. So who the heck knows what's going to happen in terms of that regards, or when we're actually going to see the twin blade knife. But that's something that we have seen kind of rumored and speculated about for a long time now, that we actually haven't seen come to fruition just yet. Next up here we have the AWP Immortalize. This one a little bit different. This one isn't as insane. Again, this is another one that I think would probably be a little bit lower tier of one, or maybe just one that I don't really vibe with that much, but it's kind of clean. It's kind of cool. I like how it has some raised up details on the backside there. It's got the little face, the guy reaching out with his finger. It's very clean. I don't know, it's kind of maybe a little bit too clean for me. It kind of looks like it belongs in like a museum or something like that. I do like this purple color. I like how the the barrel of the weapon, it goes from like that purple to the white. It just kind of spins into the white. The white looks very clean. I don't know, I think this one looks cool. It would be like, okay, to me this is just like a mid, okay, I didn't mean to do that. To me this is just like a mid AWP. It's not insane, it's not groundbreaking, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of clean. I don't even know what the heck's going on now. Twitter's just kind of freaking out. This has just been a bad day for the internet overall. Like I said, we had the Cloudflare issues today. CS Float went down for maintenance earlier today. Yeah, I don't know. Every website, everything I've been trying to use today has been insanely slow. It's been down. It's been breaking. It's been lagging. Like, oh man, sometimes you just have a bad day, and this has been a bad day for the internet. But here is the sawed off. This thing I think was just kind of cool because I really, really love the details of this with the cables. You can see the cables, like it just looks like it has insane depth. I don't know, it looks like a candy cane or something, but it also just makes me want to feel like I want to touch it, like I want to feel what those cables feel like. I don't know, to me this is just like sensory overload here. I do really, really like this idea. I love the details that went into this, and this would be a very cool skin to see in the game. Again, it's just a sawed off, it's nothing insane, but you need sawed off skins. You need those mid to lower tier skins in cases and collections. That would be a cool one. Next we have just a ton of different AWP designs. Some of these are pretty cool. I think this is like a very, very colorful kind of rainbow dragon AWP. That's always something I would be down for. I do really like that idea. This is kind of one with this like little face on it with somebody wearing a mask. I don't know, it's kind of cool too. I'm not as excited about that one. We have this, I don't know, this gives me like AWP Wild Lotus vibes with the flower on top. That red flower is just super, super, super iconic with the Wild Lotus, and it's got like a chameleon or gecko or something on it sticking their tongue out. I don't know, kind of a funny, kind of cool skin. And then we have this orange dragon here breathing out this green fire. To me, this one looks pretty sick, looks pretty badass. Kind of looks like a I don't know, like a sushi or something, like a salmon roll hole. It's got, I don't even know what's going on with this one. So it's kind of interesting, but I wanted to share that one with you guys as well. We have a couple more here to get through. I thought this one was cool. This is the Desert Eagle Dragon Fruit. It's like supposed to look like a dragon fruit, but then it's also a dragon as well. You have the white with the black dots on the back. To me, that's a cool skin. I actually really, really like this. I think it's a creative concept, creative idea, but I think the execution was very nice here as well. Here, again, is the this one I wanted to showcase for. Again, he said that he was working on the AWP bad trip, but you can also see here down at the bottom, there are pictures for the AK-47 bad trip as well. So again, potentially just all kind of new bad trip skins he's been working on. You can see the body of the AK-47 up there in the top right, a little bit there in the bottom right where my face is covering up as well. Let me uncover that for you guys. So who knows? New bad trip skins could be coming to CS2. Again, Hewok is working on a ton of different stuff right now. Don't be surprised if we see some more content from him coming in the future. This is kind of funny. The case, the CS2 case, Glock 18, it's just a Glock 18 that looks like a case. Again, it's got like the orange case color. It's got the orange and black. It's just supposed to be kind of like that. But a really, really funny detail on this one as well is, again, like when you go to reload, like the magazine actually has a key attached to that as well, which is a pretty funny idea, pretty clever. That's something that I want to share for you guys there. A couple more here. This is an interesting one, the AK-47 Crystal. I think this is something you could even do in different colors. Maybe this is even something that could be like pattern based or something like that. Again, this would look sick in blue. This would look sick in green. This would look sick in white or in like sky blue or like purple. Like this just crystallization color that shines really nice in the sun and stuff like that, or in the light. This would be absolutely sick. Again, this could potentially even be pattern based. This could be a limited edition item in CS2. It could be absolutely insane. And then the last one here from Hewok, once again, a Glock 18 skin with all these like snakes and stuff going on here. I don't know. I scroll Twitter, I scroll through Steam community, I see all kinds of cool stuff, and it just gets me hyped up and excited about the future. I love being able to showcase the talented people in CS. I'm a big skin nerd. I love looking at the skins in game. I love looking at the skins that could be coming soon. I love theory crafting about what new ideas there could be. I appreciate everybody who puts the time and effort and everything into making new ideas and eventually gets their stuff added to CS2. I think it's very, very cool, and I can't wait for new content to eventually be added to CS2 once again. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. Until then.